Hey yo, yous guys, look what I learned on my first day at wizard school.
Oh no.
Hi, it's Tim here, your average dungeon master and amateur bar master. Today I'm making an original cocktail that I'm calling the Benign Transposition. This one's made with green grapes and purple basil. They've switched their colors like Benign Transposition, which is a spell that lets a wizard change places with something. And we've got the purple basil and the green grapes switching their colors, going into this cocktail, making it smell amazing, taste amazing, look amazing. So I'm going to start it off with 10 green grapes going into my shaker tin. I'm going for about 3/4 of an ounce of green grape juice if I can get it, maybe ½ ounce. I'm going to take 8 or so of my purple basil leaves. Purple basil is just a variation of basil. It doesn't really taste or smell different than green basil. I'm just using it here for the color in the drink. All right, my next step on here is to add the rest of my ingredients. I'm going to use these cool little jars because I feel like a wizard in a laboratory, but I've got 3/4 ounce of lemon juice, freshly squeezed. If I buy a bag of lemons and I squeeze them all at the same time and get a big jar of it so that I don't have to squeeze lemons for each drink. I've got 2 ounces of gin. I'm using an Indiana gin because I use local spirits when I can, and gin is one of the spirits that you can get locally. You can make it anywhere. So this gin is Three Rivers Distilling from Fort Wayne, Lakeside Gin. It's a really nice light gin that has a really nice top end, I'd say. You know, the lighter flavors, those brighter flavors. Now I'm going to get 3/4 ounce of this honey syrup. This is a 3-to-1 honey syrup, which means that it's just 3 parts honey to 1 part hot water. Really the reason for the hot water in it is to loosen up the honey and make it pourable. That's all my ingredients, save for an egg white. Now, this is an egg white sour, and if you have not had an egg white drink, I suggest that you try it. The egg white really gives a different texture to the drink that you wouldn't be used to if you haven't had an egg white drink. The egg, you know, really kind of gives a meringue type texture of foamy, silky, wonderful texture. It's like a milkshake almost. When I do an egg white, I'm gonna dry shake it, which means shake it without ice. In order to do that, I really need to lock the tin together because the ice usually sucks the tin together when the cold air in there makes a pressure differential that pulls the tin together. When I don't have that, there's a better chance of this tin coming apart and leaking while I'm shaking. Now that I've got everything in here and locked together, I'm going to shake it for about 30 seconds. Hard. Okay, I've shaken my drink in my Boston shaker for 30 seconds, and the tin is pretty well locked together. To release your tin, you need to deform the circles that are locked together. So you have to hit the tin or compress it somehow to release that. So there it is. Since I've got so much grape pulp and basil leaves, I'm going to strain out the drink from the pulp before I shake it over ice and pour it. And I'm going to lock the Hawthorne strainer, which means I'm pushing this down, which gives it a better filter to get everything out of there. You can see how that's already taken on a really foamy, creamy texture. Adding ice, a big cube, and some chunks. When I shake it like this with a big chunk and a bunch of small broken pieces, the big chunk is acting as an agitator. It aerates the cocktail. The small chunks will dilute and chill. You need all 3 of those parts to have a successful shake. So here we go. Okay, I shook that for about 12 seconds. I can feel the tin is nice and cold now. I've gotten some additional foam. I'm going to pour it up into this coupe glass that had my grapes in it. Should come up right to the rim, making it a spilling hazard for my guest. Grab a nice looking basil sprig, put a couple green grapes on a spear on top, Benign Transposition. Yeah, it's sour and tart from the green grapes. It's got that dry quality to it on the front end, and then you get the botanicals from the gin, and the honey adds a warm quality to it. The egg white, you can see that foam on top that really gives it this nice texture. When you first take a drink, you stick your face in that basil, get the smell of basil to preempt the cocktail that comes after it. Have another one. I've already had one today because of the slow-mo shots. Really owe it to yourself to try one of these. Hey guys, look at this. I can make your pants turn green. Hey, you knows what I want up in here? It's some purple ice cream. Yeah. I feel like wizards, you know, there's a learning curve to those spells. So with Benign Transposition, do you ever think there was a time when they were swapping places with each other and ended up with each other's pants, or like forearms, or, you know, changed heads on each other or something? Seems highly likely.